This is TSN Inside Sports. Round and round they go, and where they stop, they get richer. Welcome to another year of musical quarterbacks in the CFL. We'll talk to Matt Dunigan, whose fifth team is Birmingham, to Damon Allen, who's looking for his fourth team, and one of his previous three, the Ottawa Rough Riders, say they are reborn. Welcome to TSN Inside Sports. I'm Dave Hodge. The Canadian Football League announced today that the Rough Riders, having been sold to Chicago businessman Horn Chen, are staying in Ottawa officially. Apparently, there is soon to be an announcement that the Las Vegas Posse is moving to Jackson, Mississippi. And star quarterbacks, well, if you're a CFL follower, you're well aware that they move all the time. And that continued today with Matt Dunigan signing a 3-year deal in Birmingham. Fans in Edmonton, BC, Toronto, and Winnipeg have in the past cheered Dunigan as their own, but of course that was never the case, and it certainly isn't that way now, with the CFL expanding throughout the United States, creating more demand than ever for experienced quarterbacks. Who else has gone where else for 95? Pay attention. Right off the bat, the answer is yes. Doug Flutie still quarterbacks the Calgary Stampeders, but he is no longer the league's highest paid quarterback. That distinction goes to Matt Dunigan. Dunigan will earn close to $3 million over the next 3 years, with the expansion Birmingham Barracudas his fifth CFL team. The Cudas didn't stop there. They obviously did some homework because they also signed a backup for the fragile Dunigan, last year's starter in Hamilton, Reggie Slack, who comes with his own history of injuries. Dunigan's departure from Winnipeg left an obvious hole, so the Blue Bombers signed Warren Jones from Saskatchewan. Slack's departure from Hamilton coincided with the Ticats' acquisition of Steve Taylor from Calgary. Taylor gets his chance to start after 6 years of bench sitting in the CFL, and he gets a $125,000 salary too. Taylor isn't the only backup expected to step up and deliver for a new team. The Edmonton Eskimos are hoping that Kerwin Bell, who played behind David Archer in Sacramento, will fill the shoes of 1993 Grey Cup MVP Damon Allen. Allen is a free agent on the move, having talked with the expansion Memphis Mad Dogs and the Toronto Argonauts. Allen's next CFL team will be his fourth, and he has had 2 tours of duty in Edmonton. Kent Austin is set to join his third team in as many years. It's not yet certain which team that'll be because the team that has the inside track on Austin services, Jackson, Mississippi, isn't officially in the league yet. The BC Lions will trade Austin to Mississippi or elsewhere because they have settled on Danny McManus as their new first-string quarterback. The Grey Cup champion Lions will use Keithan McCant, like McManus, an ex-Winnipeg Blue Bomber, as their backup. So now that we've cleared up the CFL quarterback carousel, let us take a crack at the franchise merry-go-round. Hamilton, still in the Steel City. Calgary has stayed put as well. It looked as if Ottawa was going to die a slow death until Chicago businessman Horn Chen bailed out the Riders. The gold miners spent 2 years in California's capital, Sacramento. After several $1 million in losses, owner Fred Anderson took his team to San Antonio, renamed it the Texans, and signed a lease to play in the posh Alamo Dome, a major league leap from the Sacramento home. Add the new teams in Birmingham and Memphis, and you've got more teams and players locating and relocating than the CFL has ever seen. And that's saying something. Matt Dunigan has sold tickets wherever he has played in the CFL, and he ought to do the same in Birmingham, if only because they can market him as the quarterback who passed for more than 700 yards in one game as a Winnipeg Blue Bomber. Matt, I guess the way to start, even though it doesn't feel quite proper, is to ask you how it feels to be a Barracuda.
It feels good. People down here in Birmingham are football crazy, and they love their football. And they've really, we're on the tip of everybody's tongue down here. They're talking about the Barracudas and the nickname and the logo, and they're trying to understand the Canadian Football League and get a feel for it, and that's our job. We had a business fair just this past 3 days, and people were going crazy over there about the football team. And Art Williams was speaking over there, had a session on winning, and he spoke to about 500 people and had them going nuts over there. And it's a good situation. It's a good feeling. You know, I've been to several different restaurants and areas around town, and people are into it, man.
Matt, I think the people that know you and have followed your career were thinking along the lines of, well, if there's a team in Shreveport, he'll want to go home. If there's a team in Toronto that's interested in him, he might like to go back there. He might prefer, all things being equal, to stay in Winnipeg. He might want to hook up again with Adam Rita in Memphis. And all of a sudden, you're in Birmingham. Is money the biggest and only reason?
Well, certainly that played an issue, but the football country and the knowledge of the sport, the city itself, the people that are down here, the commitment to having a winner and putting people on the football field and a winning product, all those things are a factor. But certainly money was an issue, Dave. You know, that's a given.
Is it good or bad that quarterbacks in this league move as much as you have and others have?
Yeah, I think you're remiss by saying this league. I think it happens everywhere, and that's the nature of the business. It's certainly why I'm in it, and I think why everybody else is in it. It's a business.
I'm well aware it's good for you. Do you think the league benefits from you playing in 5 different places?
I don't know, Dave. I certainly have felt comfortable in every city that I've played for, and I think I've done my best to bring not only good football to those cities, but a good personality and a committed community person. And you know as well as I do that that's the truth, and so you can take it from there. But that's the way it is, and it's the way it's turned out. It's been 12 great years in Canada. I've certainly enjoyed Edmonton, Vancouver, Toronto, and Winnipeg, and now I'm going to enjoy Birmingham and continue my career here.
Matt, some quarterbacks hear the name run and shoot applied to an offense and want to run the other way. How many questions did you have about what this offense will be, and what do you like about it, and what might you not like about it?
Well, that was definitely a concern. I spoke to everybody concerning that matter, and certainly John Jenkins. And I think run and shoot and being labeled a run and shoot offense is not accurate at all. It's a Canadian-style offense that's open to a passing game, a spread type of offense, similar to what you've seen Saskatchewan or BC or Calgary or Toronto or even us in Winnipeg have done in the past. It's geared towards moving people around and spreading different receivers all over the football field. And I discussed with Art Williams and Jack Pardee and John Jenkins, and it was a big decision, and it was certainly a stumbling block at first because I didn't want anything to do with it. I was like everybody else. You hear run and shoot and you go, whoa, you know, I don't want to be associated with that. Look what it did to Tracy Ham 2 years ago in Toronto. You know, almost ended his career. And if it hadn't been for the Baltimore situation, you know, he might not have gotten back onto his feet. I didn't want to be a part of that, so I certainly looked into it. And we're an offense that's geared toward the Canadian Football League. I can guarantee you that.
You are officially the highest paid player in the CFL. Does that mean anything to you apart from the fact you're well paid?
No, I just want to look after my family, and now that's taken care of. Now I can concentrate on getting more of a grasp of the offense and moving the chains and wearing out the end zone. That's the only thing I'm concerned about.
Great, Matt. Good luck to you in Alabama. Thanks for talking with us.
Thanks a lot, Dave.
From a quarterback now with his 5th CFL team to one looking for his 4th. When we return, free agent quarterback Damon Allen from his home in Atlanta, and Hamilton Ticats coach Don Sutherin, whose team will also be fielding a new quarterback this season.
TSN Inside Sports, brought to you by GMC Trucks, makers of the all-new GMC Jimmy, the strength of experience.
With Matt Dunigan signed by Birmingham today, the hot name among free agent quarterbacks is Damon Allen, who is shopping for a new team after saying goodbye for the 2nd time to Edmonton. Damon Allen speaks to us from his home in Atlanta. Damon, based on what happened in Alabama today, we know that Birmingham is one place you won't be going in the CFL. What are the other possibilities? Where are you talking, and where are you considering?
Well, I'd rather not name any team names right now, but supposedly there's a lot of interest as far as my services, and right now we're just listening to offers right now. So for me, what I have to do is just get myself prepared to play football for this year.
If I name Memphis and Toronto, you would say I'm probably close to naming at least 2 of the teams you're thinking about?
Yeah, I would say you're pretty close.
Are you you're coming to Toronto shortly to have more talks or to begin talks?
Oh, as of right now, I haven't received any information as far as flights or anything like that, but I guess there are talks as far as me coming to Toronto.
Most people would think as you sit there in Atlanta, and it looks wonderful, a lake and a golf course nearby, that you'd want to stay right there and just pop on over to Memphis and play some games, or at least get back to Atlanta real fast from Memphis. Isn't that your first concern?
Well, I think it's been speculation idea as far as you know, where I want to play. I know I want to play close to my family and things like that, but it's really important on what the team, who wants you, who's serious about you, and so I mean that all plays a part also. But if you put all in one ball of wax, whoever wants Damon Allen is willing to believe in what he can do as a player on your football team, and then you know that's probably the most important thing for me.
Apart from money, what are you looking for?
Well, it's no question I would like to play on a team that has an opportunity to go all the way, and it's no question that there's teams in the Canadian Football League that are in that situation, and in the future there might be teams in USA that has an opportunity to go all the way. And there's no question at my age and what I can do for a football team, I feel that I want to play on a good football team.
So does an expansion team like Memphis concern you in the fact that they don't have very many players signed?
Not really. It all depends on how they go about doing it. Some of these teams out here, as far as Birmingham and Memphis, have signed some very good quality football players to start their football teams with. So they're in the right direction, and there are some teams in Canada that are in the right direction. So we'll see from there.
Damon, you've bounced around a bit, in and out of Edmonton a couple of times, Ottawa, Hamilton, and now undoubtedly another new team. Is this good or bad for you, and do you think it's good or bad for the league that quarterbacks, especially quarterbacks, move so much?
Well, it's very difficult to say that. I think if it was just all Canadian football teams and you're a good player, then the potential of you moving around is very good. But now with the expansion, who knows? I mean, now it gets to the experienced quarterback, and who's willing to pay for the experienced quarterback.
How long do you think you might like to play?
Well, I always talk to Ronnie and a kid with him. I would like to play as long as Ronnie Lancaster did.
As long as Ronnie played?
That's right.
And break all his records?
Well, it's not really concerned about breaking his records, but it's a matter of just being able to play that long and still play at a level which you can still be successful.
No interest in playing baseball, Damon? There's some spots open, apparently.
Well, I did get asked, but this year I really wanted to concentrate on football, and I honestly believe that this is the sport I was supposed to play, and this is the league I was supposed to play in.
You didn't like the situation that you would have been in if you'd decided to pursue your baseball interests?
Well, it's a matter of opportunity, and I think if I would have done it right out of college or 5 years earlier, I think I had a better opportunity. And the main thing, if they didn't invest any money in you as a 30-year-old, then your opportunity of really truly making it and getting the opportunity to be successful was on the negative side.
Damon, we'll follow your travels. Thanks for talking with us.
Thank you.
When Damon Allen left Edmonton as a free agent the first time prior to the 1989 season, Tracy Ham was left alone as the Eskimo starting quarterback, and Nebraska graduate Steve Taylor looked on as a rookie from the bench. Now, 6 years later, Taylor is a first-stringer for the first time in Hamilton, having departed Calgary. Ticats coach Don Sutherin joins us to talk about Hamilton's part in the league-wide quarterback rotation. Don, in Hamilton, you found fans and you found corporate dollars and political support. Then you had to find a quarterback. Why do you believe Steve Taylor is the answer?
Well, Dave, I've been with Steve Taylor for 6 years, 3 years in Edmonton and 3 years in Calgary, and I saw a lot of potential in the young man. He came behind Tracy Ham for the 3 years in Edmonton and 3 years behind Flutie in Calgary. So when he did get in some games, I saw that he had flourishes of brilliance. He's a strong passer, a very strong runner. I think he's just not had a chance to perform, and basically that's the reason I picked Steve, plus the fact that he hasn't been injured because he hasn't played. So we're excited about it. Dieter Brock really likes him. I like him, and I think that Steve Taylor will certainly fill the bill here in Hamilton. He's a tough guy, and certainly to live and play in the city of Hamilton, you have to be a tough person, and I think Steve will fill that bill just right.
Some elsewhere in the league have had the audacity to wonder if he's worth what you're paying him.
That's other people's opinions, and you know, opinions are just like anything. Everybody has one. I guess I'm the guy that he has to satisfy, and certainly I think he has done that so far.
Can you afford what you're paying him?
I think we can. Certainly last year, the salaries for even our backup quarterback was as high as that. I think that some of the guys around the league that chastised me for paying him the salary I did just last week, they paid another quarterback a tremendous amount of money. So I think if every quarterback in the league was paid $125,000, David, I think this league would flourish.
Now, you wanted to keep Reggie Slack, did you not?
I did so, yes. Reggie felt that he should be the #1 quarterback, and in a way he was probably right. But you know yourself, when you have a knee like Reggie's, last year we missed him for 6 practices and never got on the field one time. So timing is important in practice, as you know. Quarterbacks have to practice, and certainly that was a big concern of mine.
But it sounds like as soon as they put a CFL team in Alabama, that's where he wanted to go.
You know, I don't think that's right. I don't think it was the money. We offered him a nice package here. The fact that he was from Alabama, played at Auburn, I think that he wanted to go home. And I'll tell you one thing, he's a credit to our football game. He's a tough individual, and Reggie's a great guy, and I wished him all the best. You
also lost Tim Cofield. How much of a problem is it going to be for a team in a so-called Canadian small market when U.S. teams have big dollars or the lure of a hometown? How much of a problem is it going to be, Don?
It is a continuing problem, not only for players but coaches as well. To replace Timmy, it's going to be very difficult, but we will survive. We have some pretty good young talent here in camp right now. Marcus Cotton, we're very pleased with. Possibly could go to that strong side end. Mike Philbrick, who played very well for us, and Jason Simmons, we hope to get back in the fold. So I think we'll be all right at defensive line.
We're asking everybody this: is all of this player movement, especially the quarterbacks, good or bad for the league?
Well, I think it's bad, because how do you market a guy that's here for a year or two? I hate to see it. I don't know what the answer is. Maybe long-term contracts, maybe getting these salaries down to where you know, they can't move as freely as they are right now. It's very, very difficult, Dave, to build a franchise, and certainly you have to do that around a quarterback when they're moving every 2 years.
Don, thank you a lot.
Thank you, David.
The Tiger Cats have recently survived their trip to the brink of bankruptcy, and now so officially have the Ottawa Rough Riders. When we return, their president, Phil Kershaw. Well, it didn't come with a full-blown press conference, as you might have expected, but in Ottawa today, CFL Commissioner Larry Smith did announce that the sale of the Ottawa Rough Riders to Chicago businessman Horn Chen has been finalized. And now, if it's possible to say, it is business as usual in Ottawa, which means club president Phil Kershaw has to find a coach and a general manager and a winning team. Phil, there is official and there is official. How official is the sale of the Ottawa Rough Riders as of today?
Well, David, I think we can safely say now that the deal is closed. It's been a long, arduous process, as I'm sure you're aware, watching it from Toronto, but thankfully we're going to have football in Ottawa in 1995.
So nothing more need be done regarding creditors or any of that sort of thing?
No, all of the official transactions in regard to the sale of the club, including the CFL Board of Governors approval, the transaction that had to be taken with the creditors have all been finalized and approved. The papers have been signed, sealed. Larry Smith was here this morning, and he signed off on the deal on his way down to the United States. So we can fortunately say the thing has, we pulled it off, and we're now in the clear.
Well, that is the end of one saga. Now all that remains to be done is getting ready for the season. What steps do you take immediately? What do you have to do, I assume, as quickly as possible?
Well, David, as you know, we're in a bit of a problem here in the sense that, you know, Adam Rita, our head football coach and director of football operations, left during this rather difficult period when the coaches were not being paid and went to Memphis. So we've got to hire a brand new football staff, including a head football coach, director of player personnel, perhaps a director of football operations. So there's a lot of open boxes on the organization chart, particularly when we get to the football side of things.
And who wears the uniforms? How many players do you own now, and how many do you need?
Well, right now, Dave, we only had 8 free agents. A couple of these players have signed with other clubs, but there are some of our key free agents left, like Jock Climby, are waiting to hear from us. So only 8 of our club players from last year are free agents. In fact, in terms of football, we're a lot better off than a lot of other Canadian-based teams.
Is there any doubt that you own the players that you think you own based on when they were paid last season? Or
no,
what they were paid?
Fortunately, David, the league was able to step in and look after any sort of liabilities regarding their contracts and bonuses and playoff money. So I think we'll be fine in terms of you know, keeping the players that we think we have under contract.
What about attracting new ones? Do you think that'll be easy to do, or do you think you have a selling job to do?
Well, I think we have a bit of a selling job, given that there's been an awful lot of you know, insecurity and instability here in Ottawa. But the new owner, Mr. Horn Chen from Chicago, is a very, very successful sports entrepreneur. He owns up to over 15 professional hockey teams, all of which are very solvent and do very, very well. I think Mr. Chen owning the Ottawa Rough Riders augurs very well for the kind of stable and a good ownership that we've been looking for here in Ottawa, and I think it'll be excellent. I think once that word gets around the Canadian Football League, there's an awful lot of players who've told me they want to play here in Ottawa, in the nation's capital, and I think we'll start seeing that happening.
Who else will you be working with in terms of putting together an executive under his ownership?
Well, right now we haven't really got a finalized business plan. Mr. Al Howell was involved from Hamilton. Of course, we've had Garth Roberts, a gentleman from St. Catharines, involved, and Garney Henley probably be involved somehow in our football operations. So I would think within the next few days we'll define which roles are which and sort of get the wagon trains rolling, because obviously we're behind the 8 ball for time.
Russ Jackson had expressed at least some curiosity or interest in being involved if the situation was right, without dealing with that specifically, unless you wish to. Is it your desire to sort of start all over again and pretend that this is brand new and there's never been a team in Ottawa before? Or do you want to look back on the tradition and gain from that as you can?
Well, I think one of the things, David, is to make sure that we, you know, capture the tradition we've had here. But I think that on another level, we also have had to have some continuity in the sense of we have a lot of players who played here before, and I think it's very, very important that we don't lose that continuity, because it's essential to building a winning team here. The fans know that we have a good basis of players. We have to attract a quality coaching staff. And we also have to keep the tradition and the heritage of the club alive, and perhaps going back to black colors may be something we'll look at as well.
I'll vote for that.
Okay.
Thank you, Phil.
Thanks, Dave.
I'll be right back with the last word after this.
TSN Inside Sports, brought to you by GMC Trucks, makers of the all-new GMC Jimmy, the strength of experience.